Hey guys, so today I figured I'd do a tutorial on how to build a trivia game app. So we're not going to do any CSS styling. That's pretty easy on its own, and it would make this take that much longer. So I just have a little demo right here. So we got trivia game, our title. You hit start. You have these questions. I did it kind of like a Caddyshack trivia game. We got a counter going down, and so we'll answer a few of these correct and do that one wrong, and that one will answer incorrect, and we'll leave that one unanswered. So you can see you have game over, correct answers 3, incorrect 2, and unanswered 1. All right, so I created a repository in my GitHub account, and if you don't know how to do that, I have a tutorial that teaches that. So we are going to open the terminal and cd into documents. Let's see, I believe I called this trivia game tutorial. All right, and right now, so all we have in there is a README. So we're going to add a index.html file. Oh, we got to do touch. Go. And then we're going to have a file called assets. So mkdir assets. And if we list that out, you'll see we have the README, assets folder, index.html. I like doing stuff in the terminal, but you can also just go ahead and do stuff here. So in our assets folder, we're going to need a, let's see, we're going to need a JavaScript folder. And in the JavaScript folder, we're going to need a file, that's folder. JavaScript, we're going to need a file called app.js. All right. And then for your CSS styling, you would just create a folder called, styles, and put your CSS in there. So we're going to go to index.html, and then we're going to use Emmet. So all we need is an exclamation point, and that's going to be our HTML boilerplate. Really nice, really fast. We're going to need, so I'm going to call this trivia game. And so we're going to need a, well, actually, so we're going to use jQuery in this. So let's do, I copied and pasted the CDN. Oh, not that one. All right, so we got that jQuery. Add that in underneath the title. And then we're going to need an H1. I'm going to call this trivia game. And then we are going to need a button. All right, and so for the button, we want it to have an ID of start. And so Emmet's really great. So I can basically, I'm putting down, I want button, and the hashtag is, for ID, and then start. And when I hit enter, it puts all this in for me. So it really, really makes it quick. I really recommend you looking this stuff up and using it. And it's, it's a pain at first, but then once you get used to it, if you just start doing, a few things at a time, it'll become second nature, and it makes it so much easier and faster. So we'll call this button, it'll have the name of start. And then let's save this, and then we'll open terminal. So you can either click inspect, right click and then inspect, or you can do shift command C will open up terminal. We're going to go to the console and we'll show you. So this button is not connected right now, so it doesn't do anything. Just press it. But we're going to change that. So let's go ahead and put in our script, JavaScript reference to the file. So it's going to be, let's do this. C, and it's going to be, so type equals JavaScript, and then we'll just have to point to where to go. So you have the assets file and folder, and in the assets folder you have the JavaScript folder, and then in the JavaScript folder you have the app.js. So the cool thing about Visual Studio is it's going to really tell us this, but so assets, JavaScript, and then app.js. Oops. All right, so now we're going to need to reference so this ID start button, and then we're going to be able to target that, and so we'll get that all hooked up. So in the app.js, we're going to do a little jQuery. So it's going to be $, parentheses, and then we're going to need the ID tag. So it's start, and then it's going to be an on-click function. So .on click, and then we are going to need function. Type. And so we're just going to console log you clicked me. So save that. What is this complaining about? Oh, this needs to be there. There we go. All right, save that. Go to index.html, save this, and come over here, refresh. So when I click start, you clicked me. So now we know our button's working. That's connected. Fantastic. Now we can go on to the next step. And so we're going to we're going to put everything in a div. So what we're going to do is we're going to call it wrapper. So let's do div with an ID of wrapper. And then we'll just move this up here to that. Let's close this so you guys can see this better. I can actually see. All right. So we don't want the body here, so. Okay. And so basically what I'm doing also, quick little tip to move stuff around. It's not the best idea to, copy and paste, okay. But if you cut out, you might accidentally cut something that you didn't realize, and you can create a lot of bugs that way. And a much better way of moving stuff around is just moving the line. So basically, what you want to do is you hit Alt, and you can either do one item. So if I put the cursor in front of this line, hit Alt and then arrow down, I just moved it, as you can see, like below the script tag. And then if I want to move multiple lines, all I have to do is highlight the lines, and then same thing. I can move it up, move it down. So much better way of doing things. Okay, so we got that in a wrapper, and then we're going to let's see. Then we need we're gonna have to hide the button. So let's put the button in an ID of subwrapper. So again, we're going to do div ID subwrapper. And then let's move this button in there. All right, so let's clean this up. Okay, so save that. Now let's go over to, we need to do some jQuery to remove this button, because you can see in this example, so when I hit start, that button goes away because it really doesn't make any sense for it to be there once the game starts going. So let's get rid of this console log, and then we're going to, again, target that ID, but this time we're going to target the ID of subwrapper. So let's put this in quotes. All right, and then it's going to be dot remove. And let's save that, and so that should remove our button when we click it. So let's give it a shot. Go back over here, refresh this. Oh, there you go. So now our button's gone when we click start. So that's good. All right. So let's now we're going to do the questions. So we're going to basically we need to create an object, an array with multiple objects. So we'll do let questions equal, and then it's going to be an array object, and then so we need question, and that's going to be in quotes, and we'll need answers. That should be an array. Quotes. So we're gonna put all the different answers in here, and then last we're gonna have correct answer. All right, and then this is going to be the first one. So let's. All right, so I'm going to type out the first one, and then I'm just going to copy and paste the other ones so we don't waste time with that, because it's just going to be whatever questions and answers you want it to be. So it's going to be what Does Thai web call it a donut? Think without a hole. All right, and then so we're good. The answers will say a black and white cookie. I'm always amazed how hard it is to type and talk. Let's do a Danish, quotes, which is actually the correct answer. And then, comma, cake. And then correct answer is going to be a Danish. Right, so that's the first one. And like I said, we can just, we can do as many as we want. I'm just going to paste that in. All right. All right, so I have these questions here, and then let's, what do we need to do next? We're going to do, so we are going to have these questions, we're going to do a for loop, and we're going to just render the questions on with the on click of the start button, the questions, the answers, and all the answers are going to have radio buttons that you can click. So let's go up here, and we're going to need to do a for loop. So let I equals 0. It'll be I less than questions length I plus plus. All right, so then we need to target that subwrapper again. So $, the subwrapper. And so we want to append, so dot append. And then we're going to need our H. We're going to put in an H2 tag. And let's see, so then plus questions plus questions I dot questions. Actually, it's going to be dot question. And then plus, and then we need to close for H2. All right, and then, so then we're going to need another for loop. Again, we're going to need to target that subwrapper. Oh, I'm sorry, for loop. So we need to do let, we're going to use J now because we used I. So J equals 0. J is less than, not greater, come on, less than, it's going to be questions, I, and then dot answers, dot length, and then J plus plus. All right, now we need to target subwrapper. So $, ooh. Subwrapper, And then again, we're going to have our h2 tag, so we need that, and then input tag. We're going to have the radio buttons, so input type equals radio. And you got to be careful with your quotes. So if you like to do single or double, I like to do single quotes, but if you were to do single all the way through here, it wouldn't work because you need to have all of this in quotations and then the radio in quotation, and then we're going to have some other stuff that we're going to need in quotation, so they have to be different. So you can do single here and double here, doesn't matter, it'll work, but just keep that in mind. If you get an error, it could just be it could be your quotes. All right, so radio, and then we need name equals and then question. Dash. Then we'll go outside those quotes. Then plus I plus value equals close that, and then we need to close our H2. And then get out of those quotes, and then plus questions I. Dot answers J. Then plus close that. Questions I answers J. All right. That looks right. Just make sure we got our quotes correctly. So, radio name question. Okay, so basically what we did here, so this is telling the program to append each question with a radio button. And then we're going to store the value of the answer in the radio button. So the value is going to be stored within the button. And then we're going to access that later. So let's save this. Create an object. So we're going to write let game equal. And then we're going to type correct. Oops, and set that to 0. And then we're going to do incorrect. Set that to 0. Counter, which we'll put in later. So whatever you want it to be, I think I did 20 seconds. And then we're going to do a we're going to need to do the counter and the countdown function. So we'll type in countdown. Function. And so we're going to need, we'll do game dot, counter, and then minus minus. That's going to count down. Let's see, some jQuery. And we'll generate this counter. So this will just get generated. We don't actually have this in our HTML at the moment. So we are going to put it there with jQuery. So it's .html and then game.counter. All right, and then we're going to need a for loop. So if counter. If game.counter is less than or equal to 0, just in case. There's always some weird edge case where something's going to break your program. So we'll just keep it safe and less than or equal to. So if game.counter is less than or equal to 0, we're going to log, so console.log, what time is up. All right, and then we'll put a function in. We have to create it, but we'll just put it in right here so we don't forget. So it's going to be called game.done. All right. And let's see. So let's do, so right here, we're going to do a comma, and let's put our start function. So start function. And so we're just going to go grab basically our for loop. So we're right here. So this is a great feature too that I have, and you can see all your either parentheses or curly braces, where they match up. Sometimes it gets a little confusing, and these are really nice because if you click on them, it'll actually show you. So we want this for loop and all this. So we're going to grab that, and actually we probably are going to want, grab that. So like I said, don't just move that down here. We're just going to go all the way over. And start, we want in there. All right. Clean this up. Okay, so now we have this under our start function, and we are going to need to call this function now, though. So in this onClick event, we're just going to put in, we're going to call our game.start. So .start. If you ever create a function and you're like, oh, my function is not working, it's not running, make sure you're calling the function, because if you don't, it's not going to work. And that's a fun thing to, when you start out, you'll realize that. So let's see. Under the start function, let's see, we'll do, now we're going to need our interval, our timer. So I believe we'll call it timer equals I believe it's set interval. There it is. Set interval. And then game dot countdown. And then we're going to do 1000, comma 1000. All right, so we're going to want to display the timer now. So use jQuery and do our whole thing again. So ID, and we're going to need to do the sub wrapper. And then dot prepend. So let's see, we're going to need the h2 tag. And what? Let's see. We'll do time. Time remaining, how about that? And then span tag, ID equals, I believe counter. We'll do counter. Why are you complaining? Oh. Yep. Let's see, I did it even. The quotes. It's confusing when you're using double and single. So double, counter. There we go. All right, counter. And then let's close span tag. And then we'll put in 20 or whatever you used time-wise that you want. And then that. Seconds. This is going to be the time remaining, 20 seconds. And then let's close the H2. All right. I think that is correct. A comma. And then this is going to be all done. That's function. All right. And so let's see. So we're going to need to check the answer for each question. So we're unfortunately, this is going to be just a little bit of more time for you guys, but basically I'll type one out and then we're just going to copy and paste, and then we're just, depending on how many questions you have, we're going to change, you'll see the question number. So let's see, we need $sign dot each, and then $sign, it should be input. Name, equals questions. So this one's going to be 0 because you start out at 0, not 1. And then colon checked. Something is not right here. We need to put it. There we go. Comma. Function. Okay, and then here we're going to do an if statement. So if curly braces, $, and then this val, and then equals questions. Zero dots correct answer. Curly braces game dot correct plus else. There would be game dot incorrect. Okay, so let's clean this up real quick. Okay, so basically, this is checking each answer. Well, it's just, actually, this is just checking the first question's answer. So that's why it's 0. And so we're going to go to 5 because we have 6 questions, but because it begins at 0, we're going to have 5. So basically, it's going to check it. And if the answer is correct, it's going to put the correct counter at 1. And if it's incorrect, it's going to increase by 1 the incorrect counter. So it'll keep track of your correct and incorrect answers. So we're going to, like I said, we're going to need to copy and paste this 5 more times, and then we'll go from there. On this one, because this is our entire function, right? So that's going to be, yep, okay. So right here, we're going to go ahead and comma, and then this one's going to be called result. Function. All right, so we need to clear the timer. So clear interval. And timer. All right. And then we're going to need to target our subwrapper. So ID subwrapper. Okay. And what do we want to do? So we remove the timer. We're going to need to actually, so what we'll do is remove the H2 because we have up here, where do we have it? Right here. So our timer and our questions and answers and all of those are H2, so we can actually just target that and remove it, just how we did like we did the button. So let's do that. So dot remove. So that should take, so now we cleared the timer, got rid of that stuff. Let's see, we're going to need to put in the game over. So again, sub wrapper. And then dot append. Okay, dot append. So we're going to need what? We're going to need, let's do an H3. Game over, I think we had, it said. We're going to need to close the H3. There we go. All right. So that'll be that one. And then again, let's see, any sub. And let's see, we're going to need to display the correct answers. So again, dot append. Then we need H3. Correct answers. Correct answers. And then, so we're going to need to get the correct answers. So we need this dot correct. Are you barking at me again? Plus, and then we need to close 3. What's the problem? Comma expected. Plus. There we go. All right. Let's just copy and paste this, since we're going to be using this again. All right. So sub wrapper. H3, and this is, so we're going to need incorrect. Correct answers, and then it's going to be this dot incorrect. There we go. And then what else? What else we got? Correct game over, correct answers, incorrect answers. Oh, we're going to need our unanswered questions. So put that in there again. All right. So what we're going to do with that is change this to unanswered. Answer questions. Okay, so this is pretty simple. All we have to do is just kind of a little math. So we'll have unanswered questions. So it's going to be, let's get rid of this. Unanswered questions. So we'll do plus, and it's going to be questions dot length minus this dot incorrect plus this dot correct. Yeah, that should be right. And then we just need to close our H3 plus That looks great. Okay, so what this is doing basically is just getting so the correct answers plus incorrect answers plus correct answers, and then you're subtracting the amount of questions. So if you had, so let's say there's 6 questions, if you had two incorrect and 2 correct, that would be 4. 4 minus 6 would be 2. So 2 is the amount of questions that you would have unanswered. So it's pretty simple. Let's see. And then we would just need to, I don't think we're going to need to call the result. So we would need to go right here, I believe. And it's going to be this dot result. Okay, so hopefully everything is correct. And let's go over to our trivia game, refresh this, start, button goes away, timer's counting down. So that's Danish, total consciousness, uses a leaf blower. We'll answer that one incorrectly. George Lucas, and then let's get rid of this. Oh, I didn't get to it in time. So correct answer is 4, incorrect 1, unanswered 1. That looks right. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial and it helped a lot. And please let me know if there's anything you'd like me to build or show you. I think I'm going to do a video on shortcuts with Emmet and little tricks to help you guys code faster. And then possibly we'll start working on some other projects, and maybe I'll do some tutorials for interview questions. Well, thanks so much.